Hello, and welcome back to my channel where I will continue with the Commerce Coursework tutorial. Today, we will be looking at how to write an introduction for your coursework. The introduction is very important because the introduction is used to tell your readers or to tell the examiners exactly what to look forward to in your coursework. Today's objectives: we're going to find an appropriate way or creative way to introduce our coursework. We're going to state the aim of the coursework in a complete sentence. We're going to highlight the methodologies that will be used to collect data and briefly explain how the information will be presented to the examiners. And you're going to state any challenges that may have hindered you during your investigative studies. And you're going to conclude your coursework introduction. Yes, your introduction should have a conclusion. So if you really look at the amount of objectives I have here listed, this is roughly the amount of paragraphs your coursework introduction should have. As it relates to page length or anything of that sort, personally, I would encourage all of you to ensure that your introduction is at least 2 pages long, and that's using Times Roman or Arial or Calibri font size 12 to 14, and that's double space, because in business you do use the APA writing style and your work should be double space. Let's focus on the first paragraph. So the purpose of this first paragraph is to wow the reader. You want to get their attention, and there are many ways we can get the reader's attention. So this is going to be the main goal of this first paragraph within your introduction. Some of the ways that I'm going to encourage you to begin your introduction with would be to use a hook. So begin your introduction with a hook, and this will grab the reader's attention. And at the same time, you want to make sure that the hook is relevant so that it introduces the general topic. So here are some suggestions on how to create a hook. You can state an interesting fact or a statistic about your topic. You can ask a rhetorical question or perhaps more than one rhetorical questions. You can reveal a common misconception about your topic. I like that one. You can set the scene of your story by looking at the W's, the who, when, where, what, why, and how. Or you can share an anecdote, which is a humorous short story that captures your topic. All of these are interesting ways we can attract the reader's attention. So that's your first paragraph. Your second paragraph, you can provide a little background information if it was not done in paragraph 1. So you don't want to be repetitive. You only do this in paragraph 2 if you feel as though it was not done in paragraph 1, or you feel as though it was not applicable to paragraph 1, because you know your paragraphs are really supposed to be expressing like separate thoughts. So if you want to put in paragraph 2, then you can do that. For example, now would be a good time to define terms and tell us why you choose to conduct an investigative study on this topic. So let's use, for example, I'm just going to go off script a little. If I were talking about, let's use BTC. Maybe in BTC, and I'm going to talk about advertising as it relates to the way BTC advertise that has helped them maintain a competitive edge. So in paragraph 1, I would have grabbed the reader's attention. Maybe I would have recited one of BTC's advertising jingles, and probably I would have shared a reaction from a customer that I saw when that I observed when they saw BTC's advertisement. And then in paragraph 2, I would have provided a little information about BTC, like maybe a little short history of BTC, who invented BTC. I would have also added here maybe a little history about who invented telecommunication on the whole, and how telecommunication is really important to commerce, because remember, we're supposed to tie in our topic to commerce, which is the subject, and it's about the buying and selling, or the producers and consumers within a business. So in my second paragraph, I may now want to define what is telecommunication, define what is advertising, and show how they link. And then also in the same second paragraph, I'm going to end the second paragraph. And you end the paragraph number 2, by stating what really attracted you to this topic, that that caused you to choose to conduct an investigative study on this particular topic. So I may say, BTC's advertising strategies continue to become more interesting because of the different ways they are now advertising. As a result of this and my curiosity, I decided to conduct an investigative study on the advertisement strategies used by BTC and how it has helped them maintain a competitive edge, blah, blah, blah. That is how you conclude the second paragraph. You must state your interest in the topic, and as a result, it caused you, or it made you want to conduct an investigative study on this particular topic. So that's paragraph 2. Paragraph 3, here you are going to restate your aim. If you go back to the first video that I created, we created those aims, and we state what those aims are, like to discuss the advertising strategies, to explain the components of an effective advertising strategies. Those would be your aims. You created them to begin this coursework, but in your introduction, you need a paragraph that is set aside, or the purpose of that particular paragraph would be to restate your aim. You must restate your aim. This is very important. Grade 10, 11, 12, whomever may be doing this coursework, restating your aim is very important. Literally, a coursework is worth 60 points. 10 points is allocated to your aim being stated within your introduction. This is very important. So you're going to restate your aim in a complete sentence. So this is how you restate your aim. So this is how you begin this third paragraph. In fulfillment of this coursework, I aim to conduct, well, in this case, I'm giving an example of water transportation. So in fulfillment of this coursework, I aim to conduct an investigative study of water transportation on Bahamian-owned businesses. That is you stating what your topic is. Now you're going to state how you're going to accomplish these aims. To accomplish this aim, I will highlight the history and evolution of water transportation, discuss the advantages and disadvantages of water transportation and the effect on producers and consumers, explain the importance, and examine ways to improve water transportation. So this is you stating your aims. Paragraph number 4 on your introduction. This is also a very important part of this introduction. This paragraph, you only talk about the way you intend to gather the information to complete this coursework. So here you're going to state and explain your intended methodology. This is how you will go about getting information for this coursework. I am going to say to my students and whomever else may be watching this video, because I am familiar with the way coursework is marked as a business studies teacher, I'm going to encourage you to use at least 5 different sources of information. For example, interviews are mandatory because you are conducting an investigative study. So interviews are mandatory. This interview is to be conducted with someone at the business that you're writing about. So BTC in this case, I would have, when you're talking about advertising, I think I would have chosen somebody in the marketing department within the BTC location. Okay, so you be careful and strategic with who you choose to conduct the interview. You don't want to interview maybe the security or the support staff or the janitorial staff because they may not have information on what you need. You be careful with who you interview. So interviews are mandatory, and you do one of them or maybe 2. Still not bad. Especially if you're doing a comparison between 2 businesses, you may need to do 2 interviews, but 1 is fine. And you're going to do questionnaires or surveys. They are also mandatory. So you can choose whether you want to do a questionnaire or whether you want to do a survey. A questionnaire is more so getting information. A survey is more so like evaluating a particular service or evaluating the way people feel about a particular business or the products or services they provide. Those 2 are mandatory. Some other examples of sources, you can use internet research. Internet research, I want to put a plug in here now. Please remember to always save your sources. Many of my students, they go and they collect a lot of internet research, but they don't save the sources. So when it's time to cite or when it's time to create their reference page, they don't have the sources. And if you're using the information that you got and you don't give credit to the person, it's really plagiarism, okay? And that's a big no-no. So internet research is a source. You can use book research. You can use newspapers, magazines, articles, whatever. All of these are sources of research, but I say use at least 5 of those, please. And you explain in your methodology paragraph, which is this paragraph that I speak about, you explain that you're going to use these 5 sources and explain the way you're going to use them. Particularly the interview and the survey, I want you to make mention that the interview will be used and will be cited throughout your coursework. And I want, as it relates to the questionnaires or surveys, I want you to make mention that those questionnaires or surveys will be used to create pictorial representations such as graphs and pie charts, etc., line graphs, all of that, to show exactly what those persons think or feel, who you would have surveyed or conducted questionnaires with. And paragraph 5. You conclude your introduction by stating what you hope to achieve by completing this coursework. So it's like a little wrap up, just to give your examiners, a little closing thought, what to look forward to or what to expect at the end of this research paper. And once you are done with those 5 paragraphs, font size 12 to 14, font type Arial, Calibri, or Times New Roman, or Courier New, double space. Once you are done, make sure your margins are set to 1 all around the page, and your introduction is done. If you have any questions, please free to send me a message. If you enjoyed this video and you find this video helpful, please click like and please share with other students around the country. Until next time, have a good day.